Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of Fresh Face Comics. Usually on Fresh Face Comics, I am Joey Morgan. I am a lifelong reader of comic books, and I introduce my friend Jacob Licklider to comics that he's never read before. Today we're doing something a bit different. Say hi, Jacob.
Hi, we're doing animation today.
We are doing animation, so we wanted to try out something a bit different for this sort of bonus episode. This isn't going to be counted towards the main episode numbers of the podcast. This is just a bonus thing. We may do these occasionally, just for non-comic things. Like, there's still comic book related things, more like adaptations of comics for like shows, movies, video games, etc., things like that. So today we're talking about Batman the Animated Series. It still is in line with the Fresh Face Comics idea because Jacob here has only just finished rewatching Batman the Animated Series for the first time recently.
Yes, I have. Watching it, starting it before the idea of the podcast was a thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think you started watching it shortly before we recorded the Long Halloween episode, and
it was
I think we even mentioned that on the podcast
it
episode.
was you convincing me to buy Batman animated series, and then it's like, well, why don't we do a podcast? So without
Yeah,
Batman the
yeah,
animated
yeah.
series,
It really is the thing that sort of like spiraled us into making this podcast to begin with.
yes.
So that just, I don't know, it's cool to finally come full circle with this with what will be our 10th actual episode of the podcast, not episode number 10, but our 10th episode. So that's really cool. Nice to sort of celebrate that. I'm really excited to get into today. But of course, before we get into everything, as always, I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast and everything we do. It really does mean a lot. Wherever you listen to us, be sure to leave us a rating, subscribe wherever you can. If you watch us on YouTube, subscribe there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor. We're on a ton of different places. And if any of your friends may be interested in the podcast, specifically in this episode, because we are talking about something that I'm sure more people will be familiar with than a specific comic story, be sure to share it around. Be sure to let your friends know about what we do here, because this is bound to be a fun discussion. I'm really looking forward to it. What else is there to say? I think that about does it, right?
Yeah, no. So
All right, so the
Batman
way
the animated series.
Yeah, so we're going to be breaking this down in a couple different categories. We'll be talking about the main cast of the show, the villains of the show, so just cast members to begin with, the crew behind the show, like directors, writers, composers, etc. Then we'll be going through each season, quote unquote season, because the show didn't technically have seasons. When I say seasons, there were these box sets that they released that called like Volume One of Batman the Animated Series, Volume Two, Three, etc. And these would be like a block of about 28 episodes each. And I constitute them as like seasons nowadays. That's how I look into it. Also, when we go into these, we'll be going through the episodes in production order. We won't be going through it episode by episode, obviously, but we'll be going when we talk about like in order, we mean in production order. So any like Blu-ray or DVD release that you buy of Batman the Animated Series, the episodes will be in this order. We'll be going through the seasons. We'll be do best and worst of each season. We'll go through new Batman Adventures quick. We'll talk about the movies, and then we're going to end off, talk about our top 10, bottom 10, give some honorable mentions in there. Should be a really fun discussion. I'm really excited to get into it. So let's begin by talking about the main cast of the show, which is really the glue of this entire thing.
Yeah,
Kevin Conroy,
Kevin Conroy is the best actor
who
to play Batman.
is just Kevin fucking Conroy. We love him. He is so damn good. Um, I think it's especially interesting to listen to his early performances as Batman, because
Yeah,
it's not so much that he's still figuring out the role, but that like he hasn't quite pinpointed
something
exactly.
hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away from the performances either, because he does step so naturally into the role, I think.
Yeah, and it's clear. It's clear from the first episode that um, that Conroy, as well as the writers, are not doing the overly campy Adam West Batman. That, let's be honest, that basically would have been what the public perception of Batman was.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I mean, well, the show is inspired by the Tim Burton films. Batman Returns had just come out, and this was sort of like made right alongside it, and it was the reason that the show was made to begin with. You have to credit the Burton films, but at the same time, like yeah, like most of the public perception of Batman, at least up until very recently, at the time, would have been the Adam West show. So this being the first regular TV Batman, the Batman that was on TV the most, since the Adam West show. It's a
And that
stark
isn't to knock
contrast.
the Adam West show. The Adam West show
Oh
is
yeah,
great.
I love the Adam West show, camp and all, but this is a radically different take. Obviously, a lot of the show inspires Batman today, inspires how we know the character, how we view the character, the grimness of the character, and a lot of that comes from Conroy's performance, I think.
Yeah, I mean the grimness as well as the humanity of the character. Because, like, let's be honest, Batman's a very easy character to get wrong. Um,
Mhm.
like, it's a very easy character to take just one of like the seminal Batman works, like take say Dark Knight Returns, and then make that your portrayal of Batman, and that's not quite correct.
Mhm.
Like
Like Dark Knight Returns is good, and we've talked about Dark Knight Returns on the podcast before. But that shouldn't be your interpretation of Batman 24/7. If you're gonna take an interpretation of Batman 24/7, it's this one.
it's this one, and I don't know if this is taking specifically from. I imagine it's taking from what the comics were doing more than even the Burton films. Like the aesthetic is Burton, the music is a lot of Burton,
Mhm.
the Burton films, but Batman himself isn't. Like,
Yeah, there is a different characterization there. It is more a comic Bruce Wayne. It's a more open, billionaire Bruce Wayne that we know from the comics. Whereas you look at the Burton interpretation, Keaton's Bruce Wayne in particular is very reserved. He keeps to himself. He doesn't go outside of the mansion often unless it's as Batman. So this is very different from that. So while the show itself takes a lot of inspiration from those films, yeah, Bruce and Batman, that interpretation is wildly different, I would say.
and Kevin Conroy sells Bruce Wayne just as much as he sells Batman. Like
Mm.
going into this, I was surprised because before doing actually a full watch, I had seen a handful of episodes here and there.
Mhm.
Some of the big ones, uh, mostly ones, oddly enough, where he isn't Bruce Wayne. Um, Mainly just because there are always, of course, going to be some episodes like that.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of humanity in the way Conroy acts as the character, and it's something that he's like even after this because he still plays Batman
Yeah.
occasionally.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um, to like he is the definitive Batman.
For so
He's
many people, yeah.
he's the first to utter "I am vengeance, I am the night,"
Yeah, and
which is
that's the third episode. Oh, third episode again. When we talk about order of the episodes in these, we were talking about the production order. So the third episode, that's nothing to fear. That's where that line comes from. I would say that's the episode where Conroy really steps into the role properly.
yeah,
Um,
that's where everything really starts to click. Um,
now that we're starting to touch on like specific episodes, do you have any favorite Conroy performances?
um, it's not an episode. It's Mask of the Phantasm is
Nice.
really good. I'd also say Two Face and Baby Doll,
Ooh,
uh,
okay, that's interesting.
specifically for the emotional range.
Mhm.
Baby Doll, especially.
If we're talking emotional range, one of my absolute favorites is "I Am the Night."
Yes.
He such a great performance. Lines like maybe it's time for Batman to return to the night from which he came. Like I don't think it's the exact line, but like just so many lines like that he says, and you just get chills. He's so damn good. Such a great performer. As Bruce Wayne, I love him in Forgotten. Forgotten's a great episode for Bruce. What are some other good ones? Of course he's great in all of them, but
Appointment in Crime Alley.
that's another good one.
And then the one paging the crime doctor too.
I was actually just about to say that one. Yeah, Page and the Crime Doctor, because that has the ending where he talks about Thomas, right?
Right.
Yeah, so many good performances in there, and he's so damn good.
And
But to move,
it's as an actor, it's kind of a shame that Conroy isn't known for anything else.
yeah, because he is really damn good, just as a performer in general. But it's not a bad thing to be known for, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But moving us on, of course, Batman is not Batman without Alfred. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. is a big part of this show. I always love episodes that focus on Alfred, of which there aren't many, but he always is just an absolute delight in those.
What I've found interesting is obviously Zimbalist was the second person to play the role. Because like
Yeah, because it's just what those first couple episodes are. Oh God, what's his name?
it's Clive Revel, the guy
That's
who
it.
played the Emperor in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, yep. I
Um,
remember the first time I realized it was I do like this annual watching of Christmas with the Joker on Christmas Eve. And
yeah,
out of the many times that I've seen it over the years, only recently have I been like, that, that that's not Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
it's like no, it's not. It's
That
a
is not him.
yeah, it's it's very interesting. In a parallel world, it'd be interesting to see what Revel would have brought to the role had he continued.
Mhm.
Because
But at the same time, there comes a point not very long into the show that you realize that Zimbalist Jr. is perfect for Alfred.
yeah, Zimbalist Jr. is um, I don't know. I don't know if in the comics before this point you really got sassy Alfred.
Alfred was not too much of a character before this point.
Oh,
He I mean he had moments. He had moments and he was always there from the beginning, but I can't think of any like storylines off the top of my head before the series that had like very much focused on Alfred as a genuinely intriguing character.
because Zimbalist gives just Alfred this snark. Um,
He does. Oh yeah, yeah. So many fun lines. I mean, favorite my favorite one of my favorite performances of his is in Heart of Ice when he does the whole chicken soup thing. The only way to
yes.
fight a cold. Like I love that. Bits like that. Is he in the last laugh or is that Clive Revel still?
Clive Revel was basically the first three Alfred appearances.
Okay,
So
so last laugh would have been the first Embellish Junior one.
yes,
Okay, yeah. So it's a great episode to come in on because he has that whole bit about the drawing Bruce a bath
yes.
thing.
I shall draw you back. That might be my favorite, one of my just my favorite Alfred line in
Oh yeah,
general.
no, I
Uh,
drew you a bath. Like so good, so
when we
damn good.
started the podcast, it immediately became Zimbalist Jr.'s performance
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that was in my head as reading and when reading Batman comics.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
like if like and what's interesting is no live action performance has even tried to like match this characterization and this sort of
They've all tried
performance.
to do something different.
Yeah, which I like. It's good
Yeah.
to do
Oh yeah.
different things,
Mhm.
but like
You'll never get the same kind of Alfred out of like Michael Caine or Sean
no,
Pertwee that you did out of Ephraim
or
Zimbalist
even Michael
Jr.
Goff.
Yeah, well, Michael Gough came before Zimbalist Jr.
Yeah,
So
but
I
Goff.
would say if any live action Alfred is the closest to Zimbalist, I would say it's Michael Gough.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's the same sort of fatherly, the real fatherly love there in that in the way that both Goff and Zimbalist Jr. play it.
Hmm.
Like with Kane, there's also a very much a fatherly thing, but it's very different.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, definitely.
uh, yeah, it's one of those performances that I it's even if he only has a couple lines in episode, there's something there that you're really going to latch on to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Other great moments I love are the yes I admit it I am Batman thing from Old Wounds. It's another great one. He gets a chance to like really perform when there's an episode that like actually focuses on him, like Lion and the Unicorn, which isn't one of my favorite episodes, but I really love his performance in that one.
I really love Lion of the Unicorn, mainly
I
because
thought it was all right.
Alfred as a secret agent is just a great image.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, because there's a lot there.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course he came back. He also came back for both of the movies.
Hmm.
Um, I think I think that's probably it, really.
Probably, yeah, yeah. But moving us on then, Jim Gordon, Bob Hastings, who is the definitive Jim Gordon. Um, I feel like, with Alfred, there are other performers that I could, like, get a voice from, but Bob Hastings is Jim Gordon, no matter what form he's in. I absolutely love Hastings' voice for the role.
And I'll say it. Oddly enough, his best performances actually, I'd argue, are in New Batman Adventures.
That's interesting.
In two episodes in particular.
Okay.
Holiday Nights, the first one.
Oh, yes, yes.
Just,
okay.
You know exactly what scene I'm talking about.
Yep.
And then Over the Edge.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
Those are his two.
Yeah, but then I think there are also really great episodes from the original series where he gets to shine. Hell, his very first appearance in On Leather Wings, he doesn't even have that much to do in it. I love his performance in it. He's great in that. I love him.
And this is the first. This would be the first Jim Gordon to the public who was competent.
Yeah. You had oh god, I can't think of who played him in the Adam West show.
I'm not. I don't know, but you had Pat Hingle.
Hingle in the Burton film, who is just a treasure.
a good actor, a fine performance, but the scripts do not make Jim Gordon at all competent.
Yeah.
Like,
so here, like Gordon plays an active role in these stories, and Hastings adds a lot to that performance.
Yeah, and he is pitch perfect. The smart Commissioner Gordon,
and his voice has this great balance of, like, at times he can be a father to Barbara and a very stern police commissioner at the same time, and he could balance that. Ooh, I love his performance in Shadow the Bat.
Yeah,
that one's great. That is a great performance. So many good ones. Gordon, much like Alfred, though, unfortunately, doesn't get as many episodes to himself as I would like there to be.
The big one is the big one is Over the Edge.
Yeah.
Which is that's an episode that I love.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we will go in depth on that later. But moving on, Lauren Lester as Dick Grayson, Robin / Nightwing. A really, really great voice. He's another one that like, maybe not so much for Nightwing, but for Robin. Whenever I'm reading like Dick Grayson Robin, like, that is the voice.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And again, the first serious portrayal for Robin, just in anything, because, like, again, you had the campiness in Batman.
Burt Ward.
Yeah, Burt Ward, who, again, good, but here you actually, it's like, right, let's actually do Robin justice. And I've noticed this opinion that it isn't quite as widespread nowadays. Sort of I'd argue post Nolan trilogy, that Robin is just a dumb character. Like,
yeah, it's weird. Not long before even recording this episode, I saw from a couple of people that have just said that Robin is not an interesting part of the Batman mythos. Just a lot of people saying, like, Batman doesn't even need a Robin. I strongly disagree with that.
I think Bill Finger would strongly disagree with that. Like, it's telling that if you look at the history of Batman going back to the 30s, there isn't a whole lot before Robin shows up. Like, Robin was a character who existed before even the Joker.
And the second Robin was introduced, not long after, you had characters like the Joker and Catwoman making their first appearances.
Yeah. And like the idea that Robin's not a great character, I think, isn't even really 66 the 60s Batman's fault. I think that's more Schumacher's fault. Like, those films don't do him any justice. Like,
it's weird because they get the origin right. The origin is there, but then I don't even think it's necessarily O'Donnell's performance that's the problem. It's the way Dick acts at any point after Bruce takes him in.
At any point, and the fact that in those movies they make him an adult when he's taken in, pretty much. Like, that's.
I think the lowest I would the youngest I would ever have Dick Grayson be taken in by Bruce is like maybe 15.
Like, 15 max.
Yeah.
Like,
or sorry, the oldest. I said youngest. Sorry, I meant to say oldest. Yeah, but like, yeah,
because like
for
it's telling for animated series that Lauren Lester's playing Robin at the start of the series at like 18, 19.
yeah, yeah, but
And
we have flashbacks later on where you see when he was first taken in, he was about like 10 years old.
and the way they do the Robin origin in this show is some of its just some of the best, two of the best episodes. They knock it out of the park. They really sell why Bruce would take this guy in and why he would allow him to become his sidekick, because that's not in the show. It's not like he's going to become a sidekick immediately.
Yeah.
It's a thing that has to be built.
Yeah. But favorite Lauren Lester performances, I think of course Robin's Reckoning is
Robin's
way up there.
Reckoning.
That is the Lauren Lester Robin performance. He's perfect in that. Old Wounds, of course, from the New Batman Adventures.
I'm trying to think if there's anything
it's a very small appearance, but Sins of the Father. I love his appearance at the end of that.
Oh yeah, because he just shows up right at the end.
Yeah, but it's so good and it really hammers home the point of the
episode. I also love him in the Demon's Quest.
I was just about to bring that up. Yeah.
That two-parter where
the Demon's Quest,
where he's kind of a damsel in distress at the beginning, but that isn't even a bad thing. It's really it's a really fun damseling.
Yeah. Love him in that. Harley Quinn is a fun one for him when Batman's working with Harley.
Yes,
and he's just playing off of that.
Again, Lauren Lester can do the again the sarcastic.
Yeah.
Okay, Bruce.
He can play a serious Robin, but at the same time, like there's that wit there too. I love the one line in Christmas with the Joker when Batman's beating up the Joker toys with the baseball bat, and all he says is like they don't call you Batman for nothing, and it's just such a great fucking line. Like just little moments like that like add that charm to the character.
Lauren Lester would make the battery joke.
Yeah, he would make the battery joke. Yeah, it's great.
He also, I mean, Christmas with the Joker is his first performance, and like he gets it immediately.
Yeah. That whole conversation where when he's talking with Bruce about watching It's a Wonderful Life. It's about how much difference one man can make to a city. Sound familiar? And Bruce just like ignores him. It's great. Just so many great little moments that he adds to the character.
And then even in New Batman Adventures, whenever they pair him up with Tim Drake, like for those couple of scenes, it's great.
They're such a great pairing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think the writers clearly understand how to pass the torch of a Robin to Robin.
Yeah,
even definitely. With keeping some of the drama there with Nightwing's origin in this show. Because they eventually do go to Nightwing, and I'm glad that we have at least one popular incarnation of Batman in the general public that includes Nightwing.
Yeah, definitely. I love his characterization in this. But moving on to other big cast members in the show, we have to talk about Robert Costanzo as Bullock, as Harvey fucking Bullock, who is an absolute king. I love him in every episode he's in.
They somehow managed to make seedy Harvey Bullock just as seedy for a television show meant for children. Like, this is a kids show. Like, it goes to some dark places. It never talks down to kids, but it's still aimed at children.
But to still make Harvey Bullock just as unlikable and sleazy
just as unlikable, thus making him lovable through Robert Costanzo. Giving such a good performance. As
and surprisingly, like he has a lot of episodes focused around him.
He does. A Bullet for Bullock.
Bullet for Bullock is perfect. POV is a great episode for him. So many great appearances.
Which episode is it? Where he has that interaction with Harley about a small subpoena.
Oh God, that's in Man Who Killed Batman.
The man who killed Batman.
Yeah, and he has the like Harley's in disguise, and he's like, "Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?" And Harley's like, "I think I served you a subpoena once. It was a small subpoena."
The
So
comedy
good.
in this show is just impeccably timed.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's so damn good.
Because it, again, Batman, like, let's be honest, uh, uh, as much as people love serious, no jokes Batman, especially for a television series, you can't really do that. You gotta
Mhm.
have at least a
Well,
little
yeah,
humor.
yeah, there's humor here too, while also being a genuinely dark portrayal of the
Yeah,
character.
yeah. I mean, we don't shy away. I mean, it's one of those things with a production team when basically told you can't go that dark, would often find a way around it,
Yeah,
and the way
yeah.
around it would often be darker
Hmm.
than than just shooting a guy.
Hmm. Yeah. And Bullock is a big part of that, like bringing that levity to the show that you absolutely need to have there, I'd say. Um, but then we also, seeing a big cast members, we need to talk about the two Batgirls, Melissa Bilbert and Tara Strong. I'm curious, which one do you prefer?
Um, I
I
think I
I
might prefer Gilbert just a little bit.
I think Melissa Bilbert is a better Barbara, but Tara Strong's a better Batgirl.
I can see that. Like, they're both fantastic in the role.
Oh, they
Uh,
really are. Yeah.
it's
And also in Shadow of the Bat and Batgirl Returns, like Batgirl has the best theme music. I absolutely love that leitmotif. It's so
the
good.
music in this show we need to
Oh,
spend some
we
time
will give
talking
full
about.
credit to we'll give full credit to the composers in a later segment. Absolutely.
Uh,
But yeah, I love the two Batgirls in this. For a character that doesn't come in until later, like you feel her presence throughout the show. You feel how important she is to Gordon, how important she is to Batman much later on. Essentially becomes Robin in the new Batman Adventures, even.
Basically, and it's nice that they let the Bat family grow, and
Yeah, yeah,
really, they're the only. This is again in live action adaptations of Batman, you rarely get the Bat family
yeah,
um,
yeah.
done
And
in any real capacity.
mhm. And for a but like it takes a long time, not just for Barbara to show up in the show, but especially long for Batgirl herself to show up in the show. And Barbara, as a character, even before she becomes Batgirl, is a very proactive character. In
Yeah,
Heart of Steel, I love her role in Heart of Steel. That's a
yeah,
brilliant episode for her.
it's great just to see. One, it's great to have a show in the '90s with continuity from episode to episode.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like
and that branches off into two episodes: Shadow of the Bat and his Silicon Soul.
Yeah, and then it builds on itself
Yeah,
to
yeah.
then
While also not necessarily like have forcing you to watch every single episode of the show. You should watch every single episode of the show because it's amazing, but you don't have to. You can still like follow along and just dip it out at certain episodes because it is just it's not serialized. This is an anthology show, and you can't just watch a fun or potentially really grim Batman adventure on any day of the week.
yeah, and it's all really tight that you would very tight writing that you can understand who the characters are and where they're at, just dipping in anywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think as far as Melissa Bilbert, my favorite performance for her is actually I debate between the two Batgirl episodes. I'm gonna say Shadow of the Bat though. I'd say
I might say Batgirl Returns.
it's tough. She's damn good in
Yeah,
both of them. And then for Tara Strong, I mean, she's not in it much, but I know we've already mentioned the episode plenty of times. Over the Edge.
yeah. No, I was gonna say Over the Edge, but
Yeah. It's just. I mean,
but if not Over the Edge, Girls' Night Out.
girls. She's good in that. I also like her in Old Wounds when they do the flashbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's really good in that.
but her
Um,
bits in Over the Edge are just
Oh my
so
God,
good.
yeah. So damn good. Then moving on to Matthew Valencia as Tim Drake slash Robin. Just a great addition to the new Batman Adventures.
Proof that you can do Jason Todd on and make Jason work as a
Yeah,
character.
because he just has Jason Todd's origin right down to being involved with Two-Face and his father and all that. Like that's the origin.
That's the origin, like because, but he's also just again one. He's a child actor who is really damn good at acting for a
Yeah.
child. I
Oh
mean, I
yeah.
think part of that might just be down to Andrea Romano's impeccable voice casting and voice
She is an
direction.
unbelievable casting director. Just
Yeah, she's
absolutely gets every character that she is casting, and
Uh,
I mean, that's why we're taking so much time out to talk about the casting, because of people like Andrea Romano, who just have a perfect ear for these kind of things.
who have perfect, and of course all the directors who can get a child actor to sound like a proper actor.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like uh, again, it does not surprise me that there was apparently talk of them doing Death in the Family with Tim Drake at one
I
point.
that wouldn't surprise me, and that would be damn good on the show.
It
It
would
would be
be it would be
really
it would
good.
be it would be good.
It would be
Uh,
really good. But yeah, favorite Matthew Valencia performances. I think Sins of the Father is great.
Sins
I
of the
think,
Father is such a good introduction.
but
Again,
I think my personal favorite is Never Fear. I love his performance in that.
Never Fear is also really really good. Um,
I would also say Growing Pains. That's really
Yeah,
good.
and
That's
Growing Pains.
really
Those are
good.
basically the two big episodes where he gets a lot. The three big episodes where he gets most of the
Yeah,
focus.
because it's weird. I really do mean it. Like Batgirl becomes Robin in New Batman
I mean,
Adventures. Like
I imagine
there's
part
some
of that
episodes.
is due to issues with using child actors. You can only do so much with them. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Matthew Valencia is an actor without an IMDb profile picture.
yeah, which is
Which
that's
which is a shame. I'm sure we know what he looks like, but I was just like doing some prep for this video, and I just a video podcast. I just couldn't find what he looks like when I was just scrolling through the IMDb work, and that's it. But he's
yeah,
really good. He's a really great performer, and I really enjoy his portrayal of Tim Drake.
yeah. I mean, I think mainly didn't he probably like retired from acting, didn't he? Like
I'm probably.
like because I know they recast Tim Drake as an adult in Batman Beyond, but that also wasn't too far away from the end of New Batman Adventures. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, still talking about casting, but let's move into villains here. I'll let you pick who we want to start with.
I mean, can we save the obvious one till the end?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, can,
we
can we
can.
save?
Okay, here we go. Let's start with Paul Williams as Penguin.
I'm surprised that the Penguin doesn't get a whole lot of episodes to him.
hmm
Um,
The episodes that he's in though are really good. I love Birds of a Feather. That's a great episode. I've got Batman in my
I got
basement
that. Yeah, I got
is a
Batman in my
ton of
basement.
fun as his like first appearance. Even it's just a ton of fun. I
It's a ton
absolutely
of
love
fun.
it.
It-
Even like Blind
it's
as a Bat, which I'm not too big on. Like I don't love that episode, but he's a big highlight in it.
he's great. He's also just Williams. Williams is just underrated as an actor anyway. Um,
Oh yeah, and like for those listening, like we do really want to like give a spotlight to these actors because so much of this cast was done based off of like classically trained voice actors, people that honestly have been forgotten to time for the most part, and really do deserve the recognition. We need to talk about these people because they're such a big part of the show, and
without them, there would be no show.
yeah, yeah.
Like Paul Williams, Paul Williams is probably always going to be known as a singer songwriter.
Mhm.
And obviously he's the guy who wrote Rainbow Connection for the Muppets.
See, I didn't even know that before you said it just now.
Yeah, no, that's
I had no damn clue. We need to know about these people. I bet most people don't even know who Aaron Kincaid is, who plays Killer Croc in the original series, and I absolutely love him. Sideshow is one of the most underrated episodes of the entire show. I
he's also
really love
sadly
it.
in the weakest episode of the show because
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's
Oh, we'll get there.
we'll get there. It's like Williams as the Penguin, despite the design being clearly inspired by Danny DeVito, he doesn't play it like Danny DeVito.
No, it's not that character. No, definitely not that character. Um, but
Which is
such a
good
great
because that
portrayal
character only really works in
in
Tim Burton land.
in a Tim Burton world. Yes,
Like,
but he's so good. I really love him. Um, I guess since I already started bringing him up, we'll talk about Aaron Kincaid as Killer Croc. Vendetta.
Killer Croc's a character that you wouldn't expect to work.
Mhm.
Like he's not like he was what he was in the Arkham games.
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
I was curious what you knew about Killer Croc before you started watching this show. That
yeah,
he.
well, because I know he's in. Is he in Asylum or is he in City?
Asylum, because he
He's
has
in
like
Asylum.
he has like the most nerve-wracking mission in that game.
Yes.
Have you ever played it?
Asylum's the one that it's one of the few video games I've played and beaten.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like it's that mission where like you're like walking on top of the boards and you have
yes.
to like move slowly, otherwise he like comes up and chases you. Love that bit.
Um,
Yeah, just a great character. Like, you can do a lot with Croc as a character, I think. And though the animated series doesn't have him appear much, I really do love the
his
appearances that he
appearances
has.
before Almost Got Him are his best. Um,
Hey, Sideshow. Sideshow is
oh,
after
right,
Almost
Sideshow's
Got Him,
after.
and
Mhm.
Sideshow is perfect. I love Sideshow.
Sideshow is great, except for Sideshow. Sideshow's the exception to the rule because
Yeah.
after Almost Got Him, they do a thing like with his character.
Where just every appearance of Croc seems to have to reference the throwing a rock line.
Even though like that's not Killer Croc.
No, no. But I do
Um,
love Vendetta. Like I love it, like the connection they make with Bullock. I love just building on that character there. Like there's a history there to work with, and they really do take advantage of that.
yeah, no, they do. They do a lot to make
Hmm.
his character work.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, very much doing something, and very much again taking a fairly obscure villain and making them work, which is kind of
Hmm.
what like this show is the king of doing that. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of like underrated characters in the show, that despite him being played by a pretty big actor, I really do think we do talk about Clayface, played by first off
yeah,
Ron fucking
Ron
Perlman.
Perlman.
Ron fucking Perlman plays Clayface, which is
Ron
insane to
Perlman,
me.
who is a well established voice actor,
Yeah, but I feel like so many people don't know that he played Clayface.
because it doesn't feel the way Perlman plays it
Yeah, yeah.
like
There's
a typical Perlman role.
there's a great character there. I really love it.
Uh,
I love the way they do his origin. I love just the through line between specifically Feet of Clay and Mudslide. I love that like there's a great character arc to be played between those three episodes.
yes, it's a perfect character arc almost.
Yeah, I
Um,
really love it.
very much bringing out the humanity in a villain who what they're like what in the comics multiple clay faces
Yeah, I think there are like five of them.
like there are five
Yeah.
like and like this one I know this is one where like they took one of the names of one of them but gave like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
backstory of a different
Yeah,
one.
it's another Tim Drake situation where they took Matt
Yeah.
Hagen's name but gave him Basil Karlo's backstory.
I mean I don't think they could pull off the name Basil Carlo. I,
What?
I don't think I think that
Oh,
might
oh,
be
oh, oh, you mean as like a realistic name?
as a not a oh obviously we're referencing Basil Rathbone and Boris Karloff. People are just gonna laugh at it.
Yeah. See, but it's again, it's a kids show, a kids show, quote unquote. Would that really make a difference? Like you could see the reason that they changed the Jason Todd Tim Drake thing.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Um,
people. Why do people hate Jason Todd?
but also I feel like it could have caused an uproar at the time, saying like, oh yeah, we're doing Jason Todd. Everyone knows Jason Todd is the one that dies. So,
Yeah.
so
So,
that could have caused a problem at the time, I think.
so yeah, like so they do Tim Drake, but yeah, Ron Perlman. Uh, he's just playing it so differently.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it's one of
Especially,
those.
I especially love like his quote unquote death scene in Feet of Clay, about like his greatest performance. Like, so there's a lot of great dialogue there that he really plays well.
Great dialogue. Just the fact that I think, because I know at some point, like Clayface is one of those villains that I think gets rehabilitated, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I imagine this had some help doing that, like
Mhm.
getting the idea out there, because he's a human being. It's fascinating. Just the show in general likes to do a lot of villains who are human beings who are fucked around with an unjust system,
There's
and
a reason that like late on in the original run, like there are just a lot of episodes in a row that are villain reformation episodes where you just see them try to be better people.
And some of them succeed, some of them don't.
Most of them don't.
Most of them don't.
But it's nice
you
to
still
see
gotta
that.
you still gotta have the big Batman names.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, actually, that's a good crossroads for I guess the transition here. Big actor, and speaking of villains with reform episodes, John Glover as the Riddler.
John Glover. Okay. You know, I knew he was coming when I watched the show,
Mhm.
but I don't think you can really prepare for a John Glover performance
No, no, you're never quite sure what you're gonna get with John Glover.
because he is camping it up.
He's so good. I love him. He's so damn good.
Also, one of the only few people in this cast to both be in an animated and live action Batman property.
Not just Batman, just a shit ton of comic book property.
That too. That
Just
well,
so many.
oh right, because
So
isn't he in
so many.
Smallville?
He's in Smallville. He's Lex Luthor's father in that. He's Dr. Sivana's father in Shazam. Um, I just watched an MCU thing with him in it. Was he in Agent Carter? Or I think he was in Agent Carter. He was in that. He's done so many comic book things. It's insane.
Like I'm gonna be honest. Whenever the Riddler came on screen, my brain just went to his performance in Batman and Robin
Oh my god, yeah,
with
yeah.
the crazy hair.
Where he's Jason Woodrue, yeah.
Yeah.
I love him in that.
But he again, he's a fair. I wouldn't say he's like a big actor, but he's a fairly well remembered actor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And well regarded.
At the very least, he's one of those guys that like you see in a movie and you're like, I've seen you somewhere before.
Like I have seen you before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably because he's weird. He's always giving you just an insane performance. Like
Mhm.
his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. He's so good. Favorite performances? I mean, I think Riddler's Reform. Riddler's Reform is I think is
Riddler's
his best
Reform.
performance.
I love him. It's not the best episode. I don't remember what it's called.
The maze one. Oh god.
It's
What
a
is it?
stupidly long title.
No, that's his first one. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Oh no, that is the maze one. You're right.
Yeah, here's this.
What is? I thought you were referring to what is reality at first.
He's
Yeah.
also good in What Is Reality, but like no, if you're so smart, then why aren't you rich? Is one a hilarious title, but just
Also the second time that what is it? Hamilton Hill, I think, fucks over a villain origin, right?
right, yeah.
I think he's involved in that. So that's just kind of funny. I like that. He's so good. He's so good in the role. Let's see. Who should we do next? Let's do.
Well,
Okay.
if we're doing well-regarded actors,
I was just gonna bring him up too. We have to do
Roddy
David
McDowell.
Warner.
Oh,
I thought we were gonna do David Warner.
I was gonna save him for after.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. We'll do Roddy McDowell as Mad
We'll do
Hatter.
Roddy
Okay.
McDowell,
All right.
who is-
All right. Okay. Who is so chilling?
Oh my!
Like,
I can't believe they got away with like the creepiness of the Mad
oh
Hatter.
my god, yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if this was written before or after Batgirl Year One, but I think Batgirl Year One is the first comic to really take Mad Hatter to that creepy sort of stalkerish, let's be honest, pedophilic level.
Yeah, it's before Batgirl Year One. I just googled it. 2003.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So
Hot damn.
Yeah. So did this inform that? Like
Very-
Joe, I think
very
you'll remember
possible.
this. When I watched like that first episode,
I
another
was-
great
I was-
leitmotif for a
I was
villain.
with you when you watched it. Yeah. It was. Yeah. It's creepy. It is
I
creepy.
was just like, it was like, ooh, this is getting dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
Roddy McDowell is so creepy. But like in a light way. He doesn't like bring it down and gets all creepy. It's this very light voice.
It's childish creepy.
That just unsettles you to the right level, and it's so eerie.
He's
to
also a
listen.
character who just keeps showing up.
Yeah, he's in like so many episodes. Like he shows up pretty late on in season one, but then he has what two appearances in season two, and then he's in a bunch of season three episodes.
Yeah. Well, because like he's in trial.
He's in the Worry Men. Spoiler, I guess, the Worry Men. He's in trial, Worry Men. Oh god, he's in something else. Lockup. He's in Lockup.
Lockup, and then he gets an episode in New Batman Adventures.
Yes, he does. But yeah, he's so damn good. I really, really love McDowell in the role. But okay,
We have to talk about the man, the myth, the legend.
Let David Warner as Ra's al Ghul, who I feel like so many other people aren't as excited about this as we are.
So for those who do not follow our other things,
specifically like the Fresh Face Comics crowd probably isn't as excited about this as we are. um so we're Doctor Who fans, obviously. We've talked about it in the podcast enough, but yeah, David Warner's like is just so damn good. He's such a great actor. um I think the first thing I saw him in was Tron, the original Tron. He
the
was
first thing I saw him in was A Christmas Carol, where he's not playing a villain, where he's playing Bob Cratchit.
Huh. Oh yeah, I still have yet to see that.
It's really good. It's really good. It's got it's got a lot of British character actors in it, and
Yes.
Mark Strickson.
Oh. Huh. Okay then.
Yeah.
Anyway, David Warner as Ra's al Ghul, and I guess at the same time Helen Slater as Talia al Ghul. We'll talk about them both.
Both characters who could be so easily screwed up. Like
Yeah.
like these are. Let's be honest. It would be very easy to do sort of like an almost Islamophobic fear around them, because they come from the Middle East, so they're technically eco-terrorists. But the show never goes that route. Like
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like David Warner is just makes Ra's al Ghul so compelling. The way he says detective.
Yeah, he's a great threat. Like a great threat, but also a respectable threat. One of those like little character traits of Ra's al Ghul that everyone likes to point out is that he calls Batman the detective. It's like a title of respect. And David Warner plays that to perfection. Like like how much he respects Batman as a person. I really, really love that. And also the romance between Talia and Batman. Helen Slater plays that perfectly too. Demon's Quest is an episode, or is a two-parter, that so many people look over, but I think just perfectly encapsulates those two characters. And
it encapsulates those two characters, and it does them a lot of justice. Like
it also has a music score that I've pointed out far too many times. Sounds like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. Well, I think it's telling that I think that's an episode that isn't that like that's written by Ra's al Ghul's creator, Denny O'Neil.
I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like at least the first part is. Yeah.
And it's pretty much an adaptation of Ra's al Ghul's I don't think first appearance, but his first like big story arc.
A big story arc. Yeah.
And which was done by Dennis O'Neil. It's an adaptation of that, and it's so well done. But then also after that point, Ra's and Talia appear a lot.
They do. They really do appear a lot. Sometimes, like, there's even an episode where, like, it's basically Ra's al Ghul narrating to Batman the story of Jonah Hex.
Yeah, which, by the way, Jonah Hex is in this show. I love that. I absolutely love that. He's so great in that. Avatar's a great episode. I really like that one. That's another really overlooked one.
Yeah, I mean,
even Talia's first appearance. Oh god, what is that one? Off Balance. That's a great episode. Where Michael York plays Vertigo.
Yes. Michael, again, even for like guest stars, they have really good big actors.
And that's not the last time that Michael York plays a bad guy in Batman the Animated Series.
No, he shows up he shows up more than once.
He's in two up. He's in that one, and he's in Zatanna.
Right, he's the villain in that.
Yeah. He's so good. I love him. But Ra's and Talia, absolutely brilliant. I really, really love them. Let's see, who should we do next? Let's do Diane Pershing. As Poison Ivy.
You know what? So Poison Ivy is a hard character to do. Because probably even at the time, there was like nowadays, it's harder to do, a villain whose thing is I want to save the environment.
And make them a villain.
And make them a villain. You can tell she's a character out of like what I think she was a character out of like the 40s or 50s.
Yeah. Actually, the comic shop I regularly go to actually has her first appearance for sale for God, I don't even know how much.
Probably a lot of money.
It's a lot, yeah. But yeah, that's beside the point. But yeah, like she's an interesting character, but a really ridiculous character at the same time. I'd say something that could be
Utterly
really
ridiculous.
hard to
But Pershing plays it straight. Like,
hmm
like
and there's this genuine anger in there. Like her first appearance is she's tricking Harvey Dent into falling in love with her, so she could kill him eventually because Harvey Dent, and Bruce Wayne for that matter, Wayne funded it. Broke into like this ground that was there in Gotham and built like a penitentiary on top of it, and and she's like mad at that. They broke into like this like reserved, peaceful, grassy area, and built this giant prison block on top of it, and she's rightfully angry at that.
she's
And
got a point.
she does. It's one of those things where like you see these shitty takes on Twitter all the time, like, oh, the Joker is right. No, Poison Ivy is actually right.
Poison Ivy is right.
She-
It's telling. I'd also we need to talk about her utter chemistry from the word go with Arlene Sorkin.
Oh my god, yeah, Harley and Ivy. Oh my god,
this is the 90s, so it's also it's supposed to all be subtext. I'd argue that it kind of isn't. Like,
at the very least, it's text.
It is nearly overt text, just with no kissing. Because Harley and Ivy are a couple. Like, from like I don't know whose idea it was to pair them together.
Paul Dini.
Paul Dini's a genius.
It's Paul Dini. It's all Paul Dini. Harley Quinn is his baby. I'm pretty sure every Harley Quinn appearance, other than like minor cameos in the original series, are all written by Paul Dini.
Are all written by Dini. And Harley being a character who was invented for this show.
Yeah,
accidentally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. While we're here, Arlene Sorkin, Harley Quinn, perfect. In every single way.
Every single way.
We're gonna do our top 10s towards the end of this video. I keep saying video podcast. Well, if you're on YouTube, video. But we're gonna do our top 10s at the end, and I think in both of our lists there are gonna be a lot of Harley Quinn episodes.
There are on mine. Like there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are she appears in 5 in my top 10.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, she's in 5 of my top 10 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 6.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 6 on mine. Yeah.
I can't remember if she's in that one. She might be. So yeah.
So yeah, she's in 6 on mine. And 2 of them are specifically Harley based.
Yeah. Same for me.
I think our top 10s are going to be a lot more similar than you think.
Yeah, maybe. But like Sorkin and Pershing just have this great chemistry. Mm-hmm. Harley as a character, even like she's like, we talked about Conroy having to go into the role, despite like in her first appearance, it was meant to be a one-off. Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Joker's Favor, which is a fantastic episode. It's Joker's Favor, and she's just this female Joker hench person. And she comes in.
Quinn. It feels like Paul Dini was like, "This sounds like a funny pun. We'll make a hench person out of that."
Yeah. They point that out when they do Harley's origin. It's like, yeah, it's a pun. It's meant to be Harley Quinn. And she comes in Joker's Favor. She does this little bit where she makes fun of Bullock and Gordon. Just a really charming, fun performance, and an icon was born, and it's fascinating to watch.
She gets some of the whenever she appears in a Joker episode, she almost always gets some of the best lines.
We already mentioned Sergio Sapina. I mean, Man Who Killed Batman has so much great dialogue.
You put the fun in funeral.
the kazoo as the box gets lowered into the acid.
All of her bits in Harley and Ivy, her song in Harlequinade.
Okay, so while we're here, I'm going to force you to do this. If you had to pick one best performance of all time for Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn, what episode is it?
I hate you. So
okay. We'll do Diane Pershing first. I know for me it's House and Garden.
Uh,
But she has a lot of really great performances. I love Pretty Poison. I love Eternal Youth. But House and Garden is my absolute favorite.
mm, it might be it might be Pretty Poison for
Okay,
me.
I
I
could get that.
think.
But House and Garden just does so much for me as an episode. I love that. And on Harley, I know my favorite. Like I love every Arlene Sorkin Harley performance out there, but my absolute favorite is Harlequinade.
See, it's for me. It's either Harlequinade or Mad Love. Like
Okay, I get Mad Love.
Mad Love just breaks me. Okay,
Like
like
I,
it
I
is.
yeah, it's great. I love it. But Harlequinade, and I would even say Harley's Holiday is right after it.
Oh yeah. What we're saying
And
is
I
we just.
actually paid for it. Like it's so good.
God. She gets again. She gets so. She's just way too good.
She is.
Um,
She really is. I just like the fact that her creation is almost an accident is comical. Because she's so damn good. We cannot praise her enough. It is no wonder at all that she is the iconic character she is today. All right. Let's do Michael Ansara as Mr. Freeze.
the man who made Mr. Freeze a competent villain.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, well, Paul Dini too. But
Paul Dini too. Paul Dini's writing, but also just a chilling performance. Because like Mr. Freeze was on the Adam West Batman show.
yeah, yeah, and he's
Like,
ridiculous. I've watched the episodes; they're ridiculous.
which I mean is
Um,
fair because let's be honest, before this point, Mr. Freeze was a ridiculous character.
yeah, it's a guy that carries
Um,
around a freeze gun and freezes people.
and can
it's
and sometimes can only live in ice.
it's. I mean, he still can only live in ice, so
Yes.
there's that.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, Heart of Ice is a masterpiece. Not even That's not even an exaggeration. Like
it won an
it is
Emmy.
it is just a perfect piece of writing,
It
animation,
bagged the show
television
an Emmy.
in general. It's perfect in every way possible. I think it's no secret to say it's probably on both of our top tens, right?
Right.
Yeah, like it's there somewhere. It may even be number one on one of ours.
Again,
Um,
I did when we get to top tens. I did not order mine because I can't.
oh, that's right. Okay, I ordered mine. You didn't order yours.
Yes.
But yeah, like he's perfect. I mean, even in Deep Freeze, I love Deep Freeze too. He's a brilliant performer. Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero is a fun movie. I like him in that. But Heart of Ice is really where you feel the character most. Those opening and closing monologues really hammer home the point of the episode.
And somehow when they bring him back, they make him still work mostly,
Yeah, they don't cheapen his first appearance. What
except for
does
that one time.
Well, New Batman Adventures, fuck that. Cold Comfort is just terrible.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But no, I like Heart of Ice is genuinely perfect.
And Sarah just has that voice, is able to do
It's
that.
such a chilling voice. The fact that it's so cold and broken, and at the same time you feel every little bit of emotion in it, is just the sign of a great performer. And you feel every little just change in his voice as he goes along. It's so
And it's
damn.
not like they could have so easily put a bunch of modulation over it, um, but they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They make
It's just
the
the straight voice sounds so hollow, and it's brilliant. It really is. Mark Singer as Man Bat.
I wasn't expecting to like Man Bat as a character at all.
He's a good character.
He's a great character.
On Leather Wings as like the first episode of the series.
They knock it out of the park.
They really do, and I think Singer as Langstrom really hammers that home. There's a great character there. It's someone struggling with what he's become, and
With what he's become. And again, it's very nice that they start off the show essentially with a mission statement that we're not just going to do Batman throws villains in prison. And
yeah, like even the ending. I love the ending of that first episode.
also interesting that they don't start off with a Joker episode.
Yeah, yeah, and also that the first Joker episode doesn't even actually have him appear in the iconic purple suit. Well, it's there, but it's in the Joker animatronics in the toy factory, and he's not actually wearing the purple suit.
But yeah, he's Mark Singer is gives such just so much nuance,
Yeah,
so
it's a
much
and the
nuance.
fact that like he appears later on not as Man Bat, but as a genuine character too to like help Bruce occasionally. It's really nice to have there.
Yeah, it's really good. Uh,
I kind of wish we did that with more characters. Like we kind of get that with Harvey Dent's roles in the show before he becomes Two Face.
well,
But
I'd argue we get that a decent amount with Selena Kyle.
yeah. But
Like
then there,
at least until New Batman Adventures fucks that all up. Thanks,
yeah.
Tim. I
Thanks
blame
for
Bruce
all
Tim for
the
that.
yeah. Anyway, okay, since we brought him up, we have to talk about him. Richard Mall as Two Face.
Richard, again, kind of the iconic version of the character.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
love that he's a genuine character before he becomes Two Face. Like it's not just like you have that whole first episode of the two-parter of Two Face where he becomes Two Face actually,
but
but you
he's
have this
in Pretty Poison.
and
He's
he's
in
in
a
on Leather Wings as well.
just as Harvey Dent. Like yeah, you get the establishment of this is a human
Hello?
being, and like
Oh, I think you cut out a bit there.
well, you get this. You basically what I'm saying is you get this idea that he's a human being who then has tragedy strike.
Mhm.
Obviously, this was before the Long Halloween existed, but
I
like
mean,
that
hell,
was
this could be the inspiration for wanting to make Two Face's origin genuinely tragic.
yeah.
I mean, the tragedy is there. Man with acid thrown in his face is tragic no matter what way you look at it.
No matter what way
Um,
you look at it.
but
Um,
to want to delve into that origin again and have it be the heart and soul of the Two-Face character every time he's appeared since, really just owe a lot to this show, I
and
think.
again, another villain they don't cheapen in subsequent appearances. Mostly.
Mostly. Mostly.
I think that
I
I
think
think at the
the one that kills me the most is Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne. His
oh
appearance in
yeah.
that one kills me. And which is an episode I do like, but I do not like his appearance in that. Almost Got Him I like him in. It's
I like him
it.
in Judgment Day too, like the
Oh
last
oh
episode of the
oh my
show.
god, so good in Judgment and Second Chance. Second Chance is a brilliant episode for him.
Um, yeah, like
It's the father.
and in Sins of the Father when they're just doing the second Robin origin story.
Yeah. Shadow the Bat. He's good in that.
Yeah, no, he's really good, and again, a character who I think before this had a very goofy like idea in the public mind,
Yeah. Yeah.
and kind of would after this because of a certain film.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could have
Henry.
had Billy D. Williams, is all I'm saying.
That's true. That is true. Henry Pollock II as Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow.
Okay, so the Scarecrow is a character who went through 3 design shifts,
True.
each one better than the last.
Yep.
Like, my God, especially in the new
That
Batman
last one. Oh
Adventures.
my god, that last one. Which is, but you know what though? Nothing to fear is actually one of my favorite Scarecrow appearances in the show, despite it having the weakest Scarecrow design.
Yeah, no, it's
I love
they
that
knock him
episode.
out of the park as a character.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of a goofy design.
Yeah, but Nothing to Fear is a great episode though. Fear of Victory is another good one. He doesn't actually have many appearances to himself after that point,
Yeah.
other than until we get to New Batman
Yes.
Adventures.
Never fear New Batman Adventures. Over the Edge in New Batman Adventures.
Now, is it
Uh,
still? I'm not sure if it was still Henry Pollock in New Batman Adventures.
um,
Let's find out.
let's find out.
Let's see. Filling the
No,
time,
it's
vamping.
Jeff. It is Jeffrey Combs, horror actor Jeffrey
Oh,
Combs.
that makes a lot of
That makes a
sense.
lot of sense. That makes sense.
Wow, I did not know that. Ouch.
Ouch.
And also, you'll be happy to know that Aaron Kincaid, now that I'm looking at it, is not Killer Croc in Love is a Croc.
Oh, good. So
Yeah.
he keeps his dignity.
Yeah. Yep.
Who is it in Love Is a Croc?
Brooks Gardner.
I don't know that name.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Anyway,
you still got some good performances in places. But yeah, no, Harry Pollack. I think like what in Trial where he's like just there is kind of fascinating because like he's just like I think like the actor was like ill with I think throat cancer.
Oh really? I did not know
or
that.
Something like
wow.
That's why he doesn't have any lines.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. But I like his presence there nonetheless. I mean, I like everyone being there in Trial, of course.
I mean,
but,
Trial,
yeah, a trial is Trial. But yeah, that's great. But I do want to go over a couple more slightly obscure ones before we do the big one. George Zunza as ventriloquist / Scarface is such a great performance.
In all of his appearances,
He's so damn good, so much fun. Like one of the most fun parts of the show, I think.
He pulls the again the split personality thing really well.
Yeah. One of the absolute delights of watching the show is just hearing him act.
We need to mention Kate Mulgrew as Red Claw.
Yes, she's fun. She's a lot of fun. I like her.
She is a fun
Despite me not being a huge fan of the Red Claw episodes, I do like her performance.
I mean, it's Kate Mulgrew giving it her all.
Yeah. Henry Silva as Bane, a lot of fun. I like
surprising
him a lot.
that they even did Bane.
Yeah. Fresh out of Nightfall's existence.
Like probably Nightfall was still going on. Like
one of my favorite guest stars ever on the show, Ed Asner as Roland Daggett, who had a fairly recurring role in the show.
Ed Asner and John Vernon as are basically our two sort of, I don't want to say, they're basically our two gangster characters.
Yeah, and him and Rupert Thorne. Yeah.
Both classically trained actors.
Yep. Alison Plaza, I don't know, as Baby Doll. She's brilliant. Of course, we have to bring her up.
Really good at playing sort of the Joan Crawford, the playing it with the camp, but still keeping a good solid like lid, like just lid on making it too over the top, even in that episode.
Yeah. And what I do really want to bring up before we do our two bigger ones, I do need to bring up Robert Ido as Kyodai, which is such a great oddity in voice acting at the time, casting an actual Asian actor as an Asian character.
Not only an Asian actor, a Japanese actor in a Japanese role.
Accurately casting that for that character. And Kyodai is just a great character. Night of the Ninja and Day of the Samurai are two severely underrated episodes.
I will say they didn't make my top 10, but they are in my we need to talk about these as honorable mentions.
Yeah, we need to bring those up because they are really good episodes. All right, big two.
Well, no, there was one protagonist that we didn't talk about.
Oh?
The other breakout star.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
We have to talk about Renee Montoya. Like, because without Renee Montoya, the bullet wouldn't work. Like,
yeah.
It's Ingrid Liu and Leanne Schirmer, and then in New Batman Adventures, I don't know if it's someone else. It's Leanne Schirmer again. Okay, cool. So just two actresses, both giving very similar performances.
Yeah, and just for a great character, POV being like her big breakout episode. I really love her in that.
I believe she's a character who gets brought into the comics.
Yeah. She was she was created in the animated series, I believe.
Yes, she and Harley are like the two big ones who make it into like jumping over into the comics. Which I think is great, but
First off, Adrienne Barbeau as Catwoman.
Adrienne Barbeau. So what's interesting is now if this is your first time listening to Fresh Face Comics, Joey and I both ship Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle.
I don't like the concept of shipping, but I mean, if I had to pair Bruce Wayne with anyone, I mean, it's Catwoman.
We ship it.
Yeah,
we ship it.
We do. We absolutely do. And Adrienne Barbeau perfectly plays that. Plays the relationship with Batman and Bruce Wayne. I really, really love her performance.
It's also telling that I don't think Bruce Timm writes a Catwoman episode until New Batman Adventures.
Yeah.
And she even in the ones where like they're not good episodes in New Batman Adventures, she is giving a great performance.
Yeah. She does this great. She plays a great double life between Selena Kyle and Catwoman. I really, really love. Especially
she's one of the few villains who's like Man-Bat is allowed to reform.
I especially like her appearances post Cat in the Claw, where everything is out in the open, and she does form an actual like bond with Bruce Wayne the person, not specifically with Batman and him separately.
Yeah, and there's some great stuff. I think I can't remember what episode it is. It's with where she's paired with Robin Robin and Batgirl for a decent-ish.
That's in Batgirl Returns. Yeah,
that's back. Yep. For a decent part of the episode.
Yeah, and then I love her. One of my favorite, most underrated episodes is Tiger. I love her in that. That and oh god, what's it called? Cat Scratch Fever. She's good in that one. I like that.
Yeah. And Cat Scratch Fever is an episode which probably shouldn't work, but does. Like, it's a goofy premise, but it works.
Yeah.
All
right. Are we ready? We ready?
Here we go.
Mark Hamill as the Joker. I mean, perfection.
Perfect. He is the best Joker, live action animation. It does not matter.
Yeah, no matter what, it's
no one is going to top him.
Like, I feel like we could just stop there. I think that's it. Like it's one of the most legendary performances in comic book adaptation history, for good reason. He's played the Joker so many times and so perfectly every single time. No, I don't think I've ever seen anyone dispute that he is the best Joker.
And Hamill just has the charm.
Yeah.
Like from Christmas with the Joker, where the first thing he does is sing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
As he flies on a rocket boosted Christmas tree out of Arkham Asylum. It's perfect.
It is perfect. And that's he hasn't even settled into the role yet. Like, he even gets even better.
Yeah, like his voice isn't even like the Joker voice we know in Christmas with the Joker, or Last Laugh for that matter.
Yeah, no, like
I think the first proper like Mark Hamill Joker performance is Be a Clown.
Probably because that's probably like the first one where he was actually in the room recording with everybody else.
Yeah. Because fun fact, Tim Curry was originally the Joker, and they didn't like Tim Curry as the Joker, which I really want to hear.
No one will give us a straight answer on why.
Yeah, I really want to know what didn't work about Tim Curry as the Joker.
About Tim Curry.
But then also, of course, Mark Hamill did Ferris Boyle in Heart of Ice.
Yes.
And while he was recording that, they said, "Hey, we need a Joker. Want to play the Joker?
Want to play the Joker?" So he plays the Joker, and
he's perfect.
Actually, he is.
I mean, I could just go through this list in front of me right now and name off every single Joker episode and say that's my my favorite.
Let's be honest. Some of his best bits are in The Man Who Killed Batman. Dear friends, we are gathered here today. This is the day the clown cried.
The crown. But I love him in that. Be a Clown, Joker's Favor, Almost Got Him, of course.
Joker's Millions, Mad Love.
Joker's Wild. I love that episode.
Have you seen The Laughing Fish?
Laughing Fish, Harlequinade, he's brilliant in that. Harley and Ivy, he's great in. Literally every performance he's ever had as the Joker is perfect.
He has never given a bad performance, and honestly, with the fact that they're resurrecting the cast for like an ongoing audio drama thing,
please, he needs to come back.
King and Conroy, I think, are producing. Like,
oh, it's perfect.
It's gonna be them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they get all the surviving actors back. Like, I want to see Diane Pershing. I'd like to see Adrienne Barbeau again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ron Perlman, He doesn't have to play
Get
Clayface.
Ron Perlman back as Clayface. Come on.
John Glover.
Oh, he'll do it. Oh, John Glover will do it. You know
John
he
Glover will do it.
will.
If you can get Arlene Sorkin, get Arlene
I
Sorkin.
doubt you can get Arlene Sorkin,
If
to
you
be
can't
honest.
get Arlene Sorkin, then at least get Tara Strong.
I'm sure Tara Strong would do it, but I
Um,
don't think you'll get Arlene Sorkin. She stopped at Arkham Asylum,
yeah,
which is
I
a
can
great,
dream.
which is a great performance.
It's a great last performance, and she's amazing in it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I can still want more.
All right, that was our cast. Let's move on to crew.
Crew.
To rattle off some names at the start: Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, Eric Radomski, Mitch Bryan, Kevin Altieri, Boyd Kirkland, Frank Parr, Sean Catherine Derrick, Martin Pasco, Michael Reeves, Randall Rogel. That's just to name off creators and writers, let alone composers. Which we need to talk the music.
The big composer we need to talk about, the composer who basically shaped the entire sound, the composer who arguably is more responsible for the Danny Elfman Batman theme than Danny Elfman, Shirley Walker.
Shirley Walker, absolutely. Her. I did want to mention Danny Elfman for the title music.
Well, here's the thing: Elfman wrote it. Walker, even in Batman '89, orchestrated it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Walker. That's what Walker got her started, as Danny Elfman doing the orchestrations for Elfman scores.
That's awesome. I did not know
the
that.
reason it sounds like it does is because of Shirley Walker.
Damn, and it's no wonder she did the most episodes of this show.
She composed the Joker's theme.
Every leitmotif you know for these villains is probably Shirley Walker. If not, it could be any of the following names: Harvey Cohen, Lolita Ripmanis, Michael McQuistion, I think, Stuart Balcombe, Richard Bronskill, Carl Johnson, Christopher Carter, Carlos Rodriguez, and Wayne Coster. That's all the composers for the show, and they are all brilliant, and they need the respect that they absolutely deserve. They're all absolutely brilliant. You could listen to all the soundtracks. I think they're all on Spotify, if not on YouTube. You could listen to them there. The music to this show is such a big part of shaping who these characters are, how these performances work in this world, making each episode what each episode is. I know when I think of my favorite episodes of this show, if I think of Bullet for Bullet, I'm going to hear that smooth jazz noir sounding tone. I love that. Things like that really make this show.
This is what Batman sounds like.
Yeah, it's all these people that made the sound of Gotham City, and they really do deserve that recognition. So there's that. But writers, of course, writers. Paul Dini goes without saying. We all love Paul Dini here.
Even though Bruce Timm does some.
Bruce Timm's a good lad. He
is a good writer.
Yeah, he's good. I like Bruce Timm.
He's just as, and he's a great sort of producer in that sort of role.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's sort of like the figurehead of the series, and someone that I think he did most of the Batman animated series comics, the tie-in comics. I think he did most of those. Him and Paul Dini. He's just great. He's the reason that a lot of these designs we have are the designs that we have. He designed a lot of these animated series versions of these characters. He deserves the credit for that. He's a great creative. I think he gets a lot of flack for certain feelings that he has about the Batman universe. I think rightfully so a lot of the time.
Rightfully so. Some of those decisions are weird and wacky.
But is what it is at the end of the day. Whatever. I'm not going to argue too much. Batman the Animated Series is still my favorite piece of Batman media outside of the comics themselves. So,
and it is the perfect crew with the perfect cast.
Yeah. But I think that about does it for that. Wow, that's a long segment just for cast and crew. But I think we'll be able to go through the actual episodes a bit faster, to be honest.
Yes.
So we're going to do best and worst of each season. Once again, this is seasons/volumes as they were released on box sets originally. So we're splitting it up, just in case you were wondering, by production order. Season 1 is On Leather Wings through Dreams in Darkness. Season 2 is Eternal Youth through Harley and Ivy. Season 3 is Shadow of the Bat through Batgirl Returns, and of course, New Batman Adventures is New Batman Adventures. So, best and worst of season 1. What is your favorite of season 1?
Of season 1,
those first 28 episodes.
The first 28, it is very probably. I think it's very much the obvious answer of Heart of Ice.
Okay, I was curious if we were going to have the same answer for this. My favorite is actually Two-Face.
Interesting.
I mean, is it really that interesting?
It's interesting that we diverge there.
Yeah. I can't say we'll definitely have the same least favorite of season 1, though. Say it with me now. Prophecy of Doom. Prophecy of Doom.
Prophecy of Doom is so weird.
Yeah. It's just
it's wedged in between two brilliant episodes.
It really is. Yeah.
And it's surrounded basically by like the point where the show really has found its footing. And it's not like because it's almost a jokey episode, because there is a jokey episode here.
But it's just it fails to grab me in any way.
It is. This was one I think I was watching with you on a voice call.
Yeah, we were on a voice call.
And I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like the other really bad episode of this season is the Underdwellers. But at least that has a plot.
The Underdwellers has some things that I do like in it. I like the kid in it. I like him staying with Alfred. It has like a fun little B plot. The rest of it kind of sucks, but it has some merit, I'd say.
Probably. Also, the villain in Prophecy of Doom is just not a good performance.
What is it? Nostromos, I think is his name.
Yeah, I don't know who's playing him, but it's.
I don't know, and I really, honestly don't care.
It's not a good.
Yeah. Just a couple episodes I want to mention in season 1 that I don't think we'll get around to talking about or have talked about before throughout any of this conversation. I want to mention It's Never Too Late as just a really underrated episode. Got a really nice plot to the side of it. I love oh god, what's the guy's name? I can't remember the main character's name in it, but he's great. That sort of ex-mob boss guy. I really enjoy that. Got a really great story to it.
It's another. It's another one where Bruce is seen to be so human.
Mm-hmm.
Even as Batman, he's a human being.
I want to mention See No Evil. See No Evil has a really strong hook to it, but kind of falls apart in the last third. It got a really strong hook. I love the setup. If you would just give me that first scene, I'd be really creeped out, I think, of like the imaginary friend talking to this little girl. I'm like, that's not right. That I want to find out what this is about, but then we're actually told what it's about, and it's kind of lackluster.
I should also talk about, I'd say Fear of Victory is a great Robin-centric episode and a great Scarecrow episode. And it's only like Robin's second or third appearance.
Second, only a second appearance. Clock King. I don't think we're going to mention Clock King anywhere else.
Well, actually, I have that in my honorable mentions.
Are you serious?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
It and its sequel as a pairing.
Nice.
Things that we need to talk about just because they're so good.
All right. Appointment in Crime Alley. I don't think we'll really talk about much. But I do love the ending of that one. It's not one of my favorites, but I do like the ending. It's really, really good.
Again, also another one that made it into my honorable mentions.
God damn. All right. Okay.
My honorable mentions are 20 episodes.
No, I did. You told me you did 20 episodes in your honorable mentions. I did too, but I guess it's going to be different from yours.
It's going to be different from mine.
All right. Okay. Dreams in Darkness. I can't imagine we'll talk about Dreams in Darkness anywhere.
I didn't.
So just a really cool, trippy episode. I like the setup of Batman being trapped in Arkham Asylum. I think it's just a really cool setup.
It's something that I think has been done since as well. Like a lot of these plots have been like either that if they weren't from a comic, they were then adapted into comics in some way.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that covers season 1. Best and worst of season 2. I think we probably have the same favorite. I'd say Man Who Killed Batman for season 2.
Yes, no
Yeah, it's
question. The man who
again,
killed Batman.
that might actually get us some shit because usually the all-time classic of that block of episodes is Almost Got Him.
Almost got him.
But honestly, I think Man Who Killed Batman is stronger, just by a little bit. Like it's like
it's
almost
the
Got Him
speech.
is like right below it, but Man Who Killed Batman just works on every level.
Yeah, and again, this is also a sort of a grouping with not that many terrible not that many like
Yeah,
just
honestly,
clunkers.
I had a hard time choosing my least favorite because I don't think there's a bad episode in this block. If I had to pick one, I think my least favorite is Moon of the Wolf.
You
That
know what? Yeah, none of
yeah.
only one of these made my bottom 10. Um,
Well,
but only
I'm sure we'll. Well, I mean, yeah,
oh,
we'll say what it is because it's your least favorite of
that's
season
my
two.
at least favorite from the season. And that's Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, just because I didn't connect with Hugo Strange as a villain at all.
Really, I
Yeah,
love Strange Secret.
that's the
I
one
think it's
that is the one on my bottom 10 that I think is a good episode. Like
you have to play Arkham City, my friend. You really have to play Arkham City. He's a big
yeah,
Hugo Strange is a big part of that, and
I've played
I
at least
love
the
his
opening of
portrayal.
Arkham City, so
I
like
love his portrayal in that. You
yeah.
should really play it. All right, so episodes that I don't think we're gonna get around to in season 2. Cape and Cowl Conspiracy is fine. I don't love it, but it's got a cool setup. I like it. Just this guy that is obsessed with having Batman's cape
Oh,
and cowl.
also Eternal Youth we'll probably not talk about. That's a really
Okay,
fun.
fuck you. I love Eternal Youth. We will talk about Eternal Youth.
Okay, we can talk about Eternal Youth.
Other ones,
We've already talked about Night of the Ninja and Cat
we
Scratch
have
Fever a little
Cat Scratch
bit.
Fever,
Um,
Heartsteel we talked about. Most of these we talked about because season 2 is so strong. Terror in the Sky. There we go. Terror in the Sky.
oh yes. That's the sequel to the very
it's a
first
cool
episode.
yeah, it's a cool follow up to On Other Wings with a nice little twist towards the end. Nothing special. Like it's not as strong as On Other Wings, but I do like it.
It's good.
What is Reality is decent. But not probably my least favorite Riddler episode here.
Yeah.
I think everything else we mentioned. The Mechanic. I love the Mechanic.
Yeah, the Mechanic is good. Another good Penguin episode.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it ends on Harley and Ivy, which is just amazing.
Yeah. Zatanna's great. I like Zatanna. And Patient the Crime Doctor. So
yes,
there it is. Yeah. All right. Season 3 best.
Trial.
Damn. Okay.
It's Trial.
I've mentioned it many a time. I'm sure you can guess what my season 3 is.
I'm trying to remember which ones are in season. Is it Sideshow?
No, it's Harlequinade.
Oh right, Harlequinade.
Yeah, Harlequinade is my favorite from that one. I love Harlequinade.
Here's the problem: there's so many just amazing episodes. Like
yeah, it really is
so
hard.
Many episodes I would give a 10 out of 10.
It is hard to pin it down to one, but I think we could easily pin down the least favorite of season 3.
The one that I thought was in season 2.
Oh, okay. Fire from Olympus.
Fire from Olympus.
Yeah. Not a terrible episode, but definitely a weaker one. Definitely one that, like, if it weren't for the ending scene, I would rate it a lot lower. Like the ending scene, like, just makes the episode for me, where he's in Arkham and he's like calling all the Batman villains like the gods.
Yeah,
I love that. I think
that's a great bit of comedy. But other than that, it's just
it's
who is this character, Joey?
Maxie Zeus, man.
Okay.
Ones that we're not going to mention in season 3. I think we mentioned Blind as a Bat already. Read My Lips, great episode.
Maybe not. No, we probably mentioned Lockup at least at some point.
I don't think we'll really talk about the Worrymen much.
That one's.
The Worryman's good.
Oh, Showdown is one we may not talk about. Well,
we did mention it before.
Yeah,
that's the Jonah Hex one. Terrible Trio. I don't like that one very much.
We'll talk about it because that's in my bottom list.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see. House and Garden I already mentioned. Time at a Joint. I know you already said you're going to talk about later.
Yeah, because I like that as a pair.
Catwalk is such a fun crossover between Scarface and Catwoman. I love that.
Yeah, you know what? That's one. Yeah, no, it's hard because there's so many good episodes.
Yeah, it really is. I think other than that, we mentioned everything. Harley's Holiday Lockup. Oh, Make 'em Laugh. I love that one. That's a great one.
Make him laugh is a
With-
great Silver
with
Age
the Condiment King.
the Condiment King.
I love him. He's so good. I remember
Yes.
actually that was another one that we watched. We watched The Clock King together. And you said this is ridiculous. I was like, wait until you get to the Condiment King, and you actually thought I was joking at first.
Yes.
I was like, no, he's a real character.
Who's gonna do the Condiment King?
The Condiment King. I love it. I think that's written by Paul Dini, isn't it? It probably is.
It probably is.
It sounds very Paul Dini. Deep Freeze is good. Batgirl Returns is good, and that covers season 3. All right.
So, New Batman Adventures. We also agree on the worst episode.
I think we agree. I think we agree on both best and worst here. Over the Edge is the best.
Yes.
Okay, and Love as a Croc is the worst. Love as a
Love
Croc,
and Croc is the worst.
Is
the old. I think it's telling you that half of my worst list kind of comes from New Batman Adventures.
I think exactly half of mine is 5 of my bottom 10 are New Batman Adventures. So
one of them I don't hate, but
let's use this as a transition into our bottom 10 because that was that was our next category anyway.
Yes.
So our bottom 10. You do yours. Actually, let's see how many we agree on because I know we didn't order them in
yeah, we didn't order them. I did it in.
So your first one and my first one should be the same. I think Underdwellers, right?
Yes, it's the Underdwellers. And
Prophecy of Doom's got to be in there.
Yeah, Prophecy of Doom is my second one. My third one is different because that's just because I obviously did it in production order. That's where Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay. See, that hurts because I don't think that's bottom 10.
It's one of 2 episodes that I think are good enough episodes. They're just the least good of good episodes. The other being one of the New Batman Adventures ones.
Yeah. So for me, Moon to the Wolf there, but also that would be like very high bottom 10. I don't.
Yeah,
think
no, like.
Fire from Olympus is my next one.
Fire from Olympus, and then the Terrible Trio.
Then we get into New Batman Adventures. I would say Cold Comfort.
Cold Comfort
definitely belongs there.
You Scratch My Back.
That was my next. Wow. Okay, these are way more in sync than I thought they'd be. Love as a Croc.
Critters.
Critters.
And my 10th.
I'm curious. What is it?
Chemistry.
Oh my god, that's mine too.
Yes.
Okay, it's really funny. You messaged me this morning. You're like, okay, I have my list down, and you were like, our bottom 10 are probably gonna be like roughly the same, and I was like, yeah, probably. We only have one difference in those bottom 10.
And Chemistry is the New Batman Adventures episode, which is the least, in the other one that's in the least good. Like, Chemistry is decent. It's not terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it's just
so we could just say the bottom 11 at this point. So the bottom 11 for us all together is Underdwellers, Prophecy of Doom, Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, Moon of the Wolf, Fire from Olympus, The Terrible Trio, Cold Comfort, You Scratch My Back, Love as a Croc, Critters, and Chemistry. And I would say if we're gonna take anything out of that bottom 11, I'd say Strange Secret.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I like Moon of the Wolf as well. It was.
Moon of the Wolf is fine, but
again, it's a matter of there are some episodes that are just fine. Like
I
went through episode by episode and was like, and I only came up with 9.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I was struggling to find. I only came up with 8. I was struggling to find 2 of them, and that's where I added Moon of the Wolf and Chemistry. So
yeah,
all the others, I was pretty confident in saying these are bottom 10. So. So that's that. Let's finish covering New Batman Adventures. I think I know which ones we'll be leaving out for our top 10 and honorable mentions. So let's just go through this quick. Holiday Nights is a fun little anthology.
It's a great anthology, especially for the end. Like the final scene as well is just amazing. But it's fun.
Yeah. Sins of the Father, we mentioned a couple times already. It's just a damn good episode. Cold Comfort is terrible. Double Talk, while not anywhere in these next 2 lists that I'm going to mention, I love Double Talk.
Yeah, Double Talk is great.
Double Talk is one of my favorite of the Reform episodes.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, Reform episode.
I would say Second Chance beats it out, and Harley's Holiday, but other than those 2, like it's high up there.
Yeah, and then You Scratch My Back. We should probably say why it's bad.
It does this weird thing that Bruce Timm likes to do where he just does not like to have Catwoman with Bruce Wayne at all, or Bruce Wayne with anyone other than weirdly Barbara Gordon.
Who in this show is a teenager.
Yeah.
Like,
And they do have an episode where she is in a relationship with Dick. Like,
and that's continuing on from the fact that they built up a relationship through like season 3
yeah.
like season 3, and then Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero.
So like You Scratch My Back pairs up Nightwing and Catwoman as a couple, and
Yeah,
that's just
and
that
that's
is
just
not it.
it feels wrong.
Yeah. Oh, we never actually delved into the movies. Fuck. Well, I mean, what is there to say besides Mask of the Phantasm is great and Sub-Zero is okay.
Sub-Zero is a good movie. I actually really like, again, the Dick and Barbara stuff in that.
Yeah.
They're cute they're very cute as a couple.
But Mask of the Phantasm is just one of the greatest things.
Mask of the Phantasm is like perfect. I'm glad it was released in theaters.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Oh my god, I've never seen it in theaters, but like, oh my god, I would love that.
Yeah.
Never Fear is a great episode. Joker's Millions is great. Growing Pains. I know we've mentioned all those at least once. Love as a Crock is god awful. Torch Song is fine.
Torch Song is decent. It's good. It's
the only Firefly appearance. Yeah, it's okay. Ultimate Thrill I quite like, and that's a really fun episode.
That's another one of those that, like, let's do something utterly campy and then just run with it.
Yeah. Over the Edge, masterpiece.
Mean Seasons,
I like.
It's good. Seasons. Yeah, no, it kind of. I really like the ending. It clearly kind of wants to do the long Halloween thing, and then, but like, it's obviously like we're not going to do the long Halloween on a children's television show.
Yeah. So there's that. Critters is just bad.
Cult of the Cat is actually kind of fine.
It's a fun little episode. I don't love it, but it's fine.
It cleanses the taste of You Scratch My Back.
Yeah. As does Animal Act for Dick Grayson. I think that's a great Dick Grayson episode.
That is a great Dick Grayson episode with some stuff. Yeah. Old Wounds obviously is fantastic.
And you're totally wrong about saying that Robin costume looks wrong in the new animation style. I think it looks great.
It doesn't look right for me. The Demon Within, the fact that they
go ahead, just try to move on from that. Yeah, go ahead. Fuck you. No, Demon Within is great. I love Etrigan.
Somehow they include Etrigan the Demon.
You had known Etrigan from reading The Sandman, which was one of the only comics you read before we started this podcast.
Yes. So that was Legends of the Dark Knight, I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Girls Night Out is really good.
It's a good little episode. Mad Love is
we'll talk about.
Chemistry we already talked about.
I will say the problem with that one is it's the weird. Let's just do a Black Widow style plot, like where wives kill their husbands and Poison Ivy's behind it. Also, their plants.
Beware the Creeper. I love. That's a really.
Beware the Creeper. We may talk about because it's on one of my lists. I won't tell you which one.
All right. Judgment Day. Really good episode. Really great way to end the series. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, how do we want to do this? Honorable mentions.
We need to do honorable mentions first.
Yeah. All right. I think Christmas with the Joker belongs here.
That is my number one.
Hey, there we go. All right.
I have them in chronological order.
All right. So you say your next one then.
My next one is Be a Clown.
Okay. See, my next one was Pretty Poison.
See, again, it's the problem of limiting this to 20, because I could just list every other episode that isn't.
Yeah, because then my next one is Forgotten, and that's very close to my top 10. Yeah. And then I have Be a Clown there.
My third one is another one that this was one that was real was really.
I think I know what it's gonna be.
It's Two-Face.
Oh, what? No.
Yeah.
That is not your top 10? Are you serious? Oh my god, no way.
There are some things on here that are like, these are not in my top 10, but it's also...
You are horrible, Jacob.
No. Here's the thing, it was either that or it was either that or Feet of Clay, and I'm like, I like Feet of Clay more.
No, Two-Face is better. Come on.
I'm sorry. It's still brilliant. Again, most of these are 10 out of 10 episodes.
Wow, okay. My next one is Beware the Grey Ghost.
My next one is The Cat and the Claw, and then Beware the Grey Ghost.
Okay, so then
Cat and the Claw is on there because it's one I think we need to talk about because it's a really good setup for Catwoman.
Those are all my season. Those are all my season 1 ones. That's Christmas with the Joker, Poison Ivy, Forgotten, Be a Clown, and Beware the Grey Ghost.
Well, actually, I have a couple of other season 1 ones.
Okay, so how about this? We'll do this. I do a season, you do your season then.
Okay.
So go through season ones.
Obviously, Christmas with the Joker, Be a Clown, Two-Face, Cat in the Club, Beware the Grey Ghost, The Clock King / Time Out of Joint. I paired them because it's
God damn,
sequels, because that was really good. And then Appointment in
with
Crime Alley.
Okay, what is with the Clock King, man? What do you like about the Clock King?
I like how campy it is. And Mad as a Hatter.
Yeah.
That
That one also
really
that one
good,
also
but also it's like there's some other things that I just like better.
that one also made my honorable mentions. All right, season 2. I have a fair few. I don't have too many season 2s. Probably because all my season 2s are in my top 10. Anyway, I have Eternal Youth, Robin's Reckoning, Tiger, Day of the Samurai, Birds of a Feather, and I Am the Night. Any thoughts on that before you say yours?
I Am the Night nearly made it into my honorable mentions.
Oh no, I love I Am the Night.
Yeah, no, I love it too. Again, it's the problem of things being difficult. I'm trying to just make sure I know where season 2 ends.
It ends at Harley and Ivy.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to see like what was my Harley and Ivy is not on my honorable mentions for a reason.
It's gonna be in your top 10.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, no, that's in my top 10. So my season 2s are Perchance to Dream. Another one that was another one that was really hard to like keep off the top 10. The Laughing Fish, because that one is just great. I also included Night of the Ninja and then Day of the Samurai because that's basically a two-parter. Like that's technically season 3.
If I had to choose one, it would be Day of the Samurai. Like I think Day of the Samurai is stronger.
Yeah, and then actually I think that might be all of season 2.
Again, probably same reason. Like all your season 2s are probably in your top 10.
There's a lot of in my top 10. There's a decent amount of seasons.
It's easily the strongest run of Batman episodes, I think. Honestly, do you like Tiger?
I do. It was a good episode. I just don't think I like it as much as you do.
I really like it. You know what? I had like an experience with it, if that makes sense. I like woke up like super early on like a day that I had off school because I know I watched it when I was younger. And it was like way early. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe even 5 o'clock. And I was like, I just threw on a Batman episode, and it happened to be Tiger. And I don't know why. It was just a really surreal experience to watch like super early in the morning. I like just try doing it. I don't know why. It really resonated with me there. Anyway, season 3. You might kill me for this one. I have Demon's Quest in my honorable mentions.
So do I.
Okay, all right. I don't feel as bad. This next one hurts me to have in my honorable mentions. Sideshow. I wish that was in my top 10. Same thing with Baby Doll. Baby Doll is here too.
Second you're gonna kill me.
Second Chance and Harley's Holiday. Those 5 are my season 3s.
So I have so bear in mind I was restricting this to 20, and I needed to. There were 2 episodes that I wanted to include from New Batman Adventures specifically in that I was including. So Shadow of the Bat.
Okay.
The Demon's Quest.
Solid.
A Bullet for Bullock.
Ooh, nice choice. I love that one.
Harlequinade. It's brilliant.
Whoa! Oh, that hurts my soul. I love.
It hurts. That Baby Doll. Lion and the Unicorn.
I feel like that's what we may get killed for, is not having Baby Doll in our top 10.
That one was hard. Again, part of the problem was I was doing my best episodes, and I was just doing them around. I'm like, oh no, I have like nearly 20. Lion and the Unicorn. And then Batgirl Returns.
That Lion and the Unicorn is an interesting choice to have there. I didn't realize you liked it that much.
I like it a lot. It might just be because it's the best Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. performance.
Was Harley's Holiday ever in the running here, or was it not a consideration?
It was in the running
because I love Harley's Holiday.
But it was. I was like, okay, I'm either including that one here or Harley and Ivy in the top 10, and I'm like, that one had to get cut.
I also love the twist in Second Chance. I love that. All right, New Batman Adventures. I have 4 of them. How many do you have?
I have 2.
Oh, okay. See, here's the thing. I don't have any New Batman Adventures in my top 10.
Oh, I have 2 in my top 10.
Okay. See, I don't. So my 4 are Over the Edge, Old Wounds, Legends of the Dark Knight, and Mad Love. I think they're.
Fuck!
Those are what?
I forgot about Legends of the Dark Knight.
Oh, you fool!
We're making the honorable mentions 21.
You fool!
Like, well, God, why did I? Yeah, no, mine's were just Old Wounds and Beware the Creeper.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Don't ask me. I love that one way too much.
I
And
mean,
then,
I love Beware the Creeper. I remember I hadn't seen it in a long time when I did my rewatch back in September, and I like had a ton of fun with that episode. I really love it.
yeah,
It's also a great last Hamill performance for the series.
it is.
Yeah, it's a great way to send off the
Every
Joker.
actor goes out on a high,
Yeah,
honestly.
they really do.
Um,
They really do.
at least of the really big ones.
Yeah,
Uh,
of the recurring villains. Yeah, yep.
yeah.
All right,
So
it is top 10 time. I'm thinking we'll do one at a time.
yeah, okay. So my 10 are in chronological order because
Oh,
I
oh,
just
fuck. Okay. See, I'm counting down 10 to 1. Okay. So mine might be a bit more exciting than you. Not to brag.
yeah.
So my number 10 is House and Garden. I love House and Garden with every fiber of my being. It is my favorite Poison Ivy story in any medium. It's such a mature story too for what it does. If you've never seen it, I won't spoil it. Just does
Yeah.
something really, really interesting with the character. Absolutely love it in every way.
Yeah, I would agree that it's a brilliant episode. It's not on my list. I will start actually from New Batman Adventures and work my way back.
Okay.
Um, so starting at the end, Mad Love. Like
Okay. Yeah.
it's
It's
the
Mad Love.
obvious one to
Yeah.
include, but it's Mad Love.
It
Like
deserves to be there. Yeah.
it,
Also, do you know what your favorite is of your top 10?
um
I was gonna say like just try to save that for last, whatever it is.
okay, hang on. That's a little
Well,
that's a little
well, you have time to think because I'm gonna do my next one next. So
okay, yes, and I'm gonna yeah.
just try to come up with
You know,
one
I
thing.
might try to make my top five to one.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If nothing else, just have your favorite ready. All right. My number 9 is Harley and Ivy. I'm gonna say way too many of my top tens are Joker and Harley episodes because they're just straight up the best things out of the show. But Harley and Ivy is of course no exception. The relationship between Harley and Ivy is just a wonderful thing to see. Fuck you all. The gay coding is there from the very beginning. It just is. I love Joker in that one. Just so many fun interactions throughout it. Just a genuinely fun episode to do the entire time. I remember I was watching the commentary for it on the original DVD release, and the entire time, every scene that Joker was in, Bruce Timm just was talking about how much he hated the Joker's character model in it. He thinks it's all off, which is just a really like funny little thing for like him to be annoyed by. I love it. Just a great episode though. I love Harley and Ivy.
All right, so I have my top five in order.
Okay,
So
good.
just going backwards is Trial.
Okay,
It is a brilliant piece. It's a great way of doing. It's one of the two ensemble villain episodes that are, and they both knock it out of the park. This one's sort of a weaker one, but I love how it very much combats. Honestly, a popular criticism of Batman that he doesn't actually help the poor. Um,
I
and he
love
gets
the attorney character in that
yeah.
one. I think
Again,
she's
another
great.
character who had an appearance before that.
What
I
was she
can't
in?
quite. I don't remember, but I know she appeared before that.
I think
Like
you're right, but I can't remember what episode.
it might have been like
But
Shadow of the Bat or something.
I don't think I love Trial as much as you do. It's a good episode. It's a really good episode, but I mean, obviously it hasn't cracked my top 30. So
Oh,
yeah, sorry. Anyway, number 8, The Laughing Fish. It's The Laughing Fish. One of the only animated series episodes straight adapted from a comic, and for good reason. Adding Harley Quinn into it makes it super super fun. So many great little comedic moments in it, while also just having a surprisingly grim ending. I think. Just a
yeah.
great episode in general. I really really love it. One of Hamill's finest, and Arlene Sorkin's finest for that matter.
My next one is also one with one of Sorkin's finest, Harley and Ivy.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, going backwards, I had to include. You know, I had to include it. It's what started the pairing of Harley and Ivy, and is just a perfect decision, as well as really starting. It really solidifies the definite the writers taking a stance on the Joker Harley relationship is not a healthy relationship.
Yeah, which
Uh,
is there like from the very beginning.
like
It's how it's ever been viewed as a good relationship is beyond me.
It's because people don't do media literacy.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, number 7 is Perchance to Dream. I really, really like Perchance to Dream. Again, won't spoil too much about it. Just a great episode. Bruce Wayne wakes up in this this dream world where he never became Batman. Batman is still a figure in the city, but it is not him. His parents are still alive. He's engaged to Selena Kyle.
Great.
It's so damn good. And
the music. This is another one where the music is very good at foreshadowing the twist.
The title card is played to the Twist villain's theme, which I think is really cool. Also, when we were talking about Conroy's finest performances at the beginning of this, we never mentioned Perchance to Dream for some reason.
Yeah, that's a shame. This is one of his best.
Yeah, it is one of his absolute, that whole like speech that he does when he's calling to Batman to try to get him to confront him. Like, it's such a great moment. I love that. Just a great episode.
So yeah, my number 7. Again, this is still going backward in chronological order. Joker's Favor.
Nice.
Harley Quinn's first appearance, a hilarious opening, with a guy who curses out the Joker in traffic, and then immediately regrets it. And it's one of Hamill's more chilling performances of the Joker.
Oh,
because he threatens this guy.
Yeah.
And it has a stripper cake.
We can't have people cursing each other out in the street. It's simply not polite. Like, it's so good. It's so fucking good. Oh my god.
And the comedy is great. His favorite turns out just to be to hold a door, which is which he is
glued to, and then he's left there to die.
It's so great.
It's so good. So good. Just a great episode. My number 6. I'm almost surprised I didn't have it higher, but this is where it lands. Harlequinade. I have mentioned it so many damn times throughout this.
The song is brilliant.
The song is brilliant. It's so good. Batman hitting his head on the table as he's tied up as she sings it is perfect. So many great comedic moments throughout it. The ending where Harley straight up tries to kill the Joker and he falls in love with her because it fails and she actually tried to kill him is just prime Harley Joker material. I love it.
So
I love it so much. For a long time it was actually my favorite episode of the show, and in many ways it still is. So great episode.
So my number 6, this is the one actually that might actually be my actual number 6, but
okay.
Doing a top 5 in order is easier than top 6. It's a 2-parter, Feet of Clay.
Okay.
For the obvious reasons, it's a Shakespearean tragedy. Ron Perlman as Matt Hagen is so good. Roland Daggett is such an evil, slimy character that I love it. And I love the way it ends. I love the way it sets up Mudslide. Mudslide's not included on this list, spoilers, but because I think Feet of Clay is slightly stronger, but only slightly. It's brilliant.
Nice. Okay, so now we're in the top 5. I'm really hoping there's just some point in this list where our numbers perfectly match up. If I say an episode title and it is yours for that number, just say that it is. I know it won't be here, obviously, because my number 5 is Joker's Favor. There's not much more to say on it than what was already said. It's a great episode in every way possible. I absolutely love it. Charlie Collins's final revenge on the Joker, that scene where he just goes insane and tries to kill him, is perfect. Just a great episode. I absolutely love it. And it's number 5.
My number 5 is another Joker style episode. And I'm kind of actually surprised it is only number 5. But The Man Who Killed Batman.
That low? Really?
That low.
Only an episode of Man Who Killed Batman's quality can make me say number 5 is low.
It is a piece of brilliance. Again, my entire top 10 is just all 10 out of 10 episodes, obviously. Yeah. Man Who Killed Batman, best Mark Hamill performance possibly.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Just one of the best Arlene Sorkin performances. Sid the Squid is such a fun character, and his ending is great. Joey, when yours is eventually revealed, where it is on your pick, I will let you do the speech.
Okay. No, I do. Okay, shut up. I do know the speech by heart, but I won't do it on video.
Okay. I do love. I love just the comedic timing on take that man there, throw him into that box there, and drop him into that boiling vat of acid there. Is just the
Perfect.
best.
It's perfect.
Triple beat
I love
timing.
it. Yeah. Yeah, great episode. All right, my number 4. I'm hoping this is like something that we line up on. My number 4 is Almost Got Him.
It's not.
Damn it. Okay. Well, my number 4 is Almost Got Him. Just a great collection of characters playing poker at a table. Just from the very beginning. First off, the score is one of my absolute favorites in this. This is like one of my favorite music.
Another brilliant jazz score.
Yep. The whole opening dialogue where you just see all their hands playing cards. You see Joker slip his one card from his sleeve. The entire episode is great. They all tell their own stories. They all have fun. It's a fun episode more than
The
anything.
twist on it is also great at the end. I won't spoil it.
It's also the iconic so I threw a rock at him.
It was a big rock.
Big rock. I love the whole Joker talk show where he where he where he almost got Batman. Catwoman's inclusion in the episode is just a really nice touch. The final line is perfect. It's just a perfect episode. I mean, all these episodes are perfect. It's Batman the Animated Series, but Almost Got Him especially. So go ahead.
My number 4 is the second one from New Batman Adventures on the list.
Okay.
Over the Edge.
The Edge.
This is Batman the Animated Series does the Killing Joke, just not with the Joker. Essentially, I love the way it interprets what would happen if Barbara Gordon died.
It's another example in one of my favorite like just cold opens. Like this you could see that this was the pitch for it. Batman and Robin come running into the Batcave. The police immediately follow behind them. Gordon yells out his name as Bruce. They run away. They're being shot at. It's such a great opening to an episode.
It's one of Bob Hastings' best performances.
It is. It really is.
And Tara Strong is amazing, and
yeah,
the ending doesn't feel like a cop out. It so easily could feel like a cop out, but it works because it still develops the characters in some way.
And also Grim Reaper Scarecrow.
Yeah, with the Hangman's Noose.
Yeah. Anyway, we're in the top 3 now. These are
our top 3 won't line up.
These are some prestigious episodes up here. My number 3 is Heart of Ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We already waxed lyrical about Heart of Ice earlier on. There's not too much more to say than what we already did. It's perfect. We've called it a masterpiece, a master class in television writing in general. It's amazing in every way possible. It's Heart of Ice.
My number 3 is Almost Got Him.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's what mine is. That's what mine is. Just because for the same reasons that Joey said, some things that Joey didn't mention, they include the giant penny.
They do. They
include the giant penny, guys.
Yep. My aviary of doom.
It's endlessly quotable, endless, just it's a perfect score, perfect everything.
Yep. Yeah. All right, number 2. I know nothing's gonna match up at this point. That's fine. My number 2, ironically, is Two-Face.
Our number 1 still might match up.
Okay, if that's the case, I think
if it is what I think it is.
I don't think it is. We'll see. Anyway, my number.
It's one thing we haven't talked about, pretty much, outside of the cast section.
We will see. Anyway, Two-Face. Two-Face is my number 2. Just a perfect little character piece for Harvey. The idea of this sort of multiple personality disorder that he has. Big Bad Harv as a character existing within Harvey's head, and seeing how that plays into his everyday life. Giving Harvey just a genuine love life too. Grace as a character is a big pull of the episode for me. And part 2, after he becomes Two-Face, really does hammer home what's so great about this character and why he's one of my absolute favorite Batman villains, and why this is one of my absolute favorite Batman the Animated Series episodes.
So my number 2 is already been mentioned, Heart of Ice.
There we go.
We've waxed lyrical about it.
It
won the show an Emmy, a well-deserved Emmy.
And a very well-deserved Emmy.
It redefined Two-Face. into something that even the campy Batman and Robin got right. Um, yeah, it's just brilliant. Now,
Yeah.
I think our number one might be the same.
I know it isn't. You say yours first.
Robin's Reckoning.
Wow. Okay, so
Wow.
you obviously don't remember that Robin's Reckoning was in my honorable mentions.
Oh, I don't.
You don't.
I thought it might be.
So no,
Oh,
go ahead, say your
I will
piece.
go ahead. It is the
Okay.
perfect version of Robin's origin story. It encapsulates what makes the Bat family work, uh, and who Bruce Wayne is and who Dick Grayson is. Uh, it is it is a brilliant two-parter, um, where the entire point is very much that Batman is a person who is trying to make sure no one else can really be Batman in the vengeance of his parents. It's a beautiful two-parter that I adore.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, you seem to have forgotten that I complained at one point about your top 10. My number 1 is indeed The Man Who Killed Batman.
Oh, right, you didn't say that.
I didn't say that. Yeah. Yeah, it's The Man Who Killed Batman. I think it's the perfect episode of the show. It's we've already said it's got everything going for it. It's Mark Hamill's finest performance. So many fun little moments. The eulogy is perfect. The way Batman, spoilers, comes back is perfect.
The
I
kazoo.
Sid the Squid is a perfect, and I actually mean that, perfect character, who just stumbles his way into killing Batman, finds refuge with Rupert Thorne, who also has like my favorite little like side role in the episode, the way he's like goading Sid into continuing his story. I love just also the cold open to it because you don't know why Sid is going to Rupert at the beginning. And the line that Rupert Thorne has is like, "What is it they're calling you? Oh, that's right, the man who killed Batman." It's just a great little moment that like, oh shit, that's what the episode is. And this is how it happened. Also, the title card. We haven't mentioned the title
We
cards
haven't
in
mentioned
this
the title
entire in
cards.
this entire podcast. The title cards to this show are amazing. I especially love the man who killed Batman's,
Even
where
even
it's just
in the
that
two,
silhouette.
even in the first three seasons when they don't do a title card, like in Demon's Quest and Laughing Fish, they're still striking first shots, especially
Yeah.
Demon's Quest. Demon's Quest
Demon's
basically
Quest. Yeah. Demon's Quest is a
is
title card, just you start moving the title card then.
yeah.
That's it.
Laughing
Yeah.
Fish is a little more animated because it's a sign.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but it helps
Yeah.
set the tone. They all set the tone really well, and it's a damn shame that the new Batman Adventures didn't do them.
Mhm.
Uh, like they really should have done them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I think that's it.
that
Wow.
is it. If you
Damn.
haven't watched
Th-
the Batman animated series, there is a complete Blu-ray collection you can get.
there is. There is.
It should be linked down below.
Yeah, I'll link it down below. Fuck yeah.
It is.
Everyone should watch this show.
It
If you
comes
have
on Blu-ray and a digital copy.
you can also
Uh,
watch it on HBO Max, but the episodes are in the release order and not production order. Production order is the correct order.
yeah,
So there's that.
production order is the correct order because if there is any continuity elements, it's generally over
Yeah.
production order.
Yeah. And also Cat in the Claw is just not as good a first episode as On Leather Wings.
That's the first episode aired.
That was the first one that aired, that
That's a
two-parter.
weird one to start with.
And Feet of Clay was like the fourth episode to air.
I mean,
Yeah, it was weird. It was really, really weird. Yeah,
I
there
get
was
moving
some.
Christmas and the Joker with the Joker around because like that's clearly a Christmas episode that you
Yeah,
want to out
yeah.
around Christmas. But
No, the order is really, really weird. I think also like when you look at the episodes on IMDb, they have them in release order, and there's some weird decisions in there. Also, you could tell that like the way they order the seasons when you watch them on HBO Max or something is like when there was a break in releasing, because season 1 is like 50 odd episodes long.
I think
um
that's actually the season break because there was an actual because the Blu-ray does it in production order, but
okay.
it labels them as as season one as the actual big production block.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I did not know that. Huh.
yeah,
Here we go. Okay, yeah. So first episode is Cat in the Claw, or first episodes are Cat in the Claw. Then it's On Leather Wings. Then A Heart of Ice. Then Feet of Clay. Then It's Never Too Late. then making the first Joker episode Joker's favor.
That's weird. Anyway, that's kind of a tangent.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that's it. You will be watching Superman the Animated Series, and I imagine we will do a bonus episode on that when that comes eventually.
But we also are at least planning.
We are, yeah, we can mention that. So after 2 weeks after the Batman comes out in theaters, we'll be doing a bonus episode on that. We're both going to see it. We won't have it out like the weekend after it's out because we got to work it with the Fresh Face Comics schedule. We're doing it in between. We're doing bonus episodes between off weeks.
It's also a matter of the fact that like I think the off week is that weekend. And
yeah,
there's not enough time to edit one of these.
Yeah, so we do need the time to. So it'll be a good like 2 weeks after the Batman comes out. But we will be doing. We'll be doing
may not have a guest depending on certain things.
Potentially, yeah. But it's the potential is there, and we will be doing a bonus episode on the Batman, directed by Matt Reeves. So, yeah. In the meantime, thank you all for listening. It has been fantastic. This has been a great discussion. I've absolutely loved this episode, and I'd love to do more like these in the future. As always, continue to support us. Leave a rating and subscribe wherever you're listening to us. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to Blood Donut Studios. If you're not watching us on YouTube, still subscribe to Blood Donut Studios because that shows a lot of support for us. Also, please be sure to share the podcast around because we are trying to hit a certain goal on our listenership so that we can start doing certain cool things with the podcast that we would like to do. So, yeah, that'd be great.
Leave likes, comments, follow us on Twitter if you want to hear our takes.
Yeah, we have takes. Sometimes they're good. Most of the time they're bad. All right. I guess that about does it. Yeah, until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklater.
Goodbye.